You're 1 week into Heroes vs. Hordes, and everything's been going great. You're cruising through normal mode, you dipped your toes in hard mode, and so far nothing's stopping you. But then it happens. Normal mode 41, or maybe it's hard mode 10. It's a brick wall of Horde, and you realize, crap, I can't clear this, I'm not strong enough. That's where farming comes in. Farming in Heroes vs. Hordes is the key to making your hero stronger. You pick a level you've already beaten, clear it again and again, and rack up Hero Orbs, dust, coins, and keys. But here's the thing, not all farming is created equal. In this guide, I'll break down the optimal gear, jewels, heroes, and chapters you can set on auto mode to maximize your gains and keep climbing. Because farming isn't just an option, it's the difference between being stuck and pulling out your credit card. At a certain point in the game, you're going to get stuck on a chapter. Even wearing your best gear, you won't be able to do enough damage to outlast the Horde. At this point, you need to go back to a previous chapter and continuously beat it to level up your roster. You can beat any chapter in Heroes vs. Hordes as many times as you want, as long as you have the energy to clear it. As I progressed, it wasn't uncommon to spend 3 to 7 days farming the same chapter over and over again to become strong enough to continue progressing. Every time you beat the chapter, you're rewarded with resources. The goal of farming is to collect those resources in order to hit better damage breakpoints, like higher tier gear, hero levels, or talent levels. That increased power will then let you start clearing new chapters again. There are 5 different resources you can farm: coins, keys, hero orbs, dust, and scrolls. Early in the game, all of these resources are valuable. You want to try and level up your talents with coins, gear with keys, and heroes with orbs. Dust will kind of collect over time and give you access to jewels, although jewels aren't as important early on in the game. And scrolls collect in the background to level up your gear after you've hit higher tiers. If you need orbs or dust via farming, you can clear the highest possible hard mode stage you can using your DPS gear. However, this guide is going to focus on the 2 more important aspects of farming: keys and gold. In my opinion, keys are the ones that are a little bit more important between those 2, as they're slightly harder to get. Keys will help you scale up your gear, and it's why you typically farm on hard mode. Hard mode has a built-in chance of both silver keys and gold keys. Normal mode does not provide any chance by default, while hard mode gives you 25% chance at silver keys and a 5% chance at gold keys. And that's on top of whatever you have from gears or talents. You can turn these keys into better gear in the shop. That's why people usually recommend clearing the highest hard mode level you can, because you get an additional incredibly valuable key chance. And while keys are great, you also want to collect as many coins as you can. You do that early in the game through Coin Rush. Coin Rush comes at the end of a run. It lets you gain additional coins for surviving an increasingly difficult Horde onslaught. It lasts 5 minutes and gives you an increasing number of coins the longer you live. Later in the game, you will easily be able to clear Coin Rush. However, early in the game, it's a different story. Finding heroes and chapters to stay alive longer in Coin Rush can significantly increase your coin totals. And as it turns out, certain chapters have ways to survive longer into Coin Rush, making them much better for farming. The best chapters to farm in the game start out literally on Hard Mode 1. Hard Mode 1 is a great place to farm early in the game, middle of the game, and late in the game. It's only 3 minutes long, but it has the extra key chance of hard mode. Therefore, you can throw any unused energy at the end of the day into Hard Mode 1 runs if you have the time. Early in the game, you can also just continuously beat Hard Mode 1 for the key chance. That will help you to level up your gear faster. After Hard Mode 1, some good levels for farming early in the game are Hard Mode 21 through 25 in the Frosty Hills, Hard Mode 31 and 33 in the Secret Cemetery, and then Hard Mode 41 through 45 in Firefields. Hard Mode 45 is one of the best chapters in the game for farming. This early in the game, it allows you to find a crescent-shaped stone in the middle of the field. After you place yourself in that crescent, Horde can only attack you from one side, making it easier to survive longer and earn more coins into Coin Rush. After Hard Mode 45, other notable chapters include Hard Mode 61 and 65 in Forgotten Citadel, 66 and 69 in the Jungle, 71 and 73 in Elemental Towers, 76 and 80 in Ancient Lands, and then Hard Mode 81 and 85 in the Library. And the Library is probably the most famous farming chapter of all, because Horde only attack from the north and south, and you can find a small pile of books near a pentagram that forces enemies to come from only one direction. This makes survival, especially during Coin Rush, much easier, and is why most everyone spends a significant amount of time farming here. To make things even better, the library is when Coin Rush hits its maximum. meaning there's no benefit to coin rush at higher chapters. However, later chapters have higher horde and elite density during waves. That means more enemies appear for you to kill, which grants more experience, which ultimately leads to more coins at the end of a run. As you continue to progress, Viking Ship is a later stage set up similar to the library, with horde only spawning from the north and the south. Orc Outpost at 125 is also a solid farming chapter, but the big jump happens at Toxic Jungle and hard mode 140. Late game players often farm Toxic Jungle for its density and high elite spawn rate. It's one of the highest mob densities in the game, translating to tons of experience and more chests from elites, which means more coins when you start exceeding your experience cap. This chapter also happens to be where heroes in all legendary noble gear can still clear content on auto mode. Past that, and possibly even here, you might need ascended gear to totally AFK. For late gamers, the last great hard mode AFK spot for farming is in Candyland at hard mode 275, but it's very difficult. You likely need at least full heroic gear to do it comfortably on auto mode. I can't even clear it right now, with Santa in full mythic gear actively playing. But what is this auto mode of which I talk about? Well, you unlock auto mode at certain VIP levels. At VIP level 4, you can auto normal mode, and at VIP level 5, you can auto hard mode. Auto mode is a huge game changer for farming because you can step away and let the game grind for you. However, if you only have auto for normal mode, I would still suggest you try and do hard mode manually because of that 25% silver key and 5% gold key chance we talked about. But now the question becomes, who should you be farming with? Two heroes stand out as top tier farmers in my opinion. The number one overall farmer, I believe, is Santa. Santa's bonus to gold key chance is unrivaled, and this bonus will literally save you hundreds of runs in the long term, speeding up your gear progression and helping you get all the way up to heroic eventually. Additionally, Santa has a coin bonus built into his star levels that's nothing to sneeze at. But if you really want coins, then you want to use the number 2 farmer, Leprechaun. Leppy has a unique kit that converts hordes into coins based on his skills and cauldrons. This can significantly boost your coin gains from a single run. His forge and global bonuses also benefit coin collection, making him the single best hero for farming coins. You do this by focusing your build in order to maximize the number of horde that you can convert into coins. At this point, let me say that Leprechaun is a unique hero with a unique farming build. It deserves its own video, so I'm not going to go into a tremendous amount of detail here, but I will add a link in the description to his build on my website, hvhlounge.com. The other best heroes for farming are simply whichever heroes can get you to the end of Coin Rush and/or clear the highest hard mode chapter while you use Experience Tome and Coin Tome. Early in the game, Knight is great for surviving Coin Rush and Firefield's hard mode 45, or the Library hard modes 85 because of his tankiness. Over time, the better heroes for farming include somebody like Clockwork Mage, Artificer, Oracle, Monk, or any other generally strong hero. With some small exceptions, there's no real difference in resource gathering outside of the top 2 farming heroes, so it's just about surviving through Coin Rush and clearing the content. So let's gear these heroes up for doing just that. The best farming gear is incredibly straightforward. It's all about maximizing the number of resources you get at the end of a run. That makes the best farming gear all noble. Noble helm, noble chest, noble boots, noble gloves, noble necklace, and noble ring. Noble gear benefits include additional chances for keys, coins, experience, scrolls, dust, and orbs. But because noble gear is focused on farming bonuses, it won't give you any additional damage. But remember, the most important part of farming is not dying, so keep that in mind as you select your gear and jewels. For jewels, you have 2 main options, key jewels and coin jewels. I personally, and most people do, run key jewels 99% of the time until they have heroic gear or are trying to push talents very late in the game. It's generally better to get keys early than coins, so you fill up as many slots as you can with key jewels, and then you fill in the remaining ones with coin jewels. If you have any additional gear slots left, you can put in a looter jewel. This unique jewel increases your chance of getting a chest between levels, which basically translates into more coins at the end of the run. If you still have slots available, particularly early in the game, feel free to put in your damaging jewels. Priority for damage jewels generally follows this pattern, vulnerability being the most important, followed by ultimate charge, ultimate duration, and then cooldown. You only add these damaging jewels to your build if you can't fill them all up with key or coin jewels. So remember, don't merge key or coin jewels until you can fill up all of your gear slots. And now on to pets. Pets are even more boring than gear. In most situations, you want pets to do maximum damage, as they help you clear out content and keep you alive while you farm. With that in mind, I typically say to run your highest rarity pet as your active pet, and then your next two highest rarities as your passive. There's not much interesting here, but there is some fun theory around weapon choices. Weapons are interesting for farming because there are three main ways to farm. The first is before you have auto mode. In this version, you actively pick your weapons during the first wave, and then do your best to AFK the rest of the waves. If you hit VIP level 4 or 5, you can simply click auto mode and forget about it, letting the game figure out how to beat the chapter for you. Or you can mix the two. You can actively do the first wave and pick optimal weapons for maximizing your resources, and then click auto mode. The optimal weapons for farming typically start with Coin Tome and Experience Tome, followed by Bomb, Fire Orb, Chain Lightning, and then Cooldown Tome, Area Tome, and Duplicator Tome. You can fill out your last weapon with Crossbow or Ice Wand. This setup gives you maximum damage while also combining the increased coin rewards from Coin Tome and Experience Tome. And remember, once you hit the level cap in a run, usually around level 35 to 40, any additional levels give you coins. Experience Tome helps you boost to those extra levels, so you can think of any general XP boost as a coin boost. Coin Tome, as it reads, increases the amount of coins you get at the end of your run. The rest of your weapons and tome choices maximize the evolutions and damage so that you can survive in Coin Rush the longest. If you find that you're dying when you AFK, consider dropping Experience Tome for another damage tome, like Damage Tome, to make sure you can clear the waves and last longer in Coin Rush. The big rule with farming is don't die. Dying wastes time and energy. It's usually better to complete a run with fewer total coins gained than to die halfway through and get nothing. You also have to balance surviving Coin Rush with the additional experience from Experience Tome. So early in the game, it might be better to drop Experience Tome altogether, grab Damage Tome, and then last longer in Coin Rush. And that will net out to more coins. At this point, I'll give you a strategy for maximizing your farming, for both keys and for coins. If you want to maximize the number of keys, just farm Hard Mode 1. It's super short, 1 minute per wave if you actively play and pick weapons quickly, or it's still pretty quick on auto mode. You can skip Coin Rush entirely and still get credit for the chapter. You won't get as many coins, dust, or orbs with this, but you'll rack up keys. So if I have leftover energy at the end of the day, I'll just burn it all on Hard Mode 1 to convert energy into keys, running full noble gear with all of my high level key jewels. And then, if you're trying to farm coins, technically the best way to farm coins is doing Nightmare Mode. Right now, I can reliably clear 280 Nightmare Mode. However, I had to actively play for 12 minutes. For those 12 minutes, I'll earn about 66 million coins. If I compare that to Auto Mode Toxic Jungle, I only earn about 16 million coins. That means actively playing Nightmare Mode is the equivalent of 4 auto runs in Hard Mode if I'm only trying to get coins. So figuring out a Nightmare Mode level that you're comfortably beating can dramatically increase your coin generation and help you level up your talents. So consider running early chapters of Nightmare Mode if you can easily clear them. And that's it. That's my guide to farming. You're going to spend the majority of your time in Heroes vs. Hordes farming. Over my 7,500 runs, only about 1,200 were for pure progression. And then I did about another 1,200 for events. That means I've done over 5,000 runs dedicated to straight up farming. Farming is how you level up your talents, collect orbs for your heroes, and gather keys to upgrade your gear. Keep at it, refine your strategies, and soon you'll be clearing all of Hard Mode in no time. And who knows, maybe one day you'll even get your own set of Powdered Blues. I'm Coles, a high level HvH player. I hope this guide was helpful in helping you navigate farming early in Heroes vs. Hordes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me here, on Reddit, or on Discord. You can also join my Patreon, where you'll get early access to videos and priority answers to questions. You can also become an executive producer, like Cake Invictus, who was the executive producer on this video. And remember, always do your adventures!